content is around family, family building, marriage, and parenting. And so since our channel is relatively new, we thought we'd do a story time just to talk about how we met and how we even began dating. So that you would get to know us, and as we're telling more story times and getting into our journey, you will kind of have the backstory of all of it from the beginning. Do you want to start?
Just in case it wasn't, we haven't done it yet. This is my wife Justine. I'm Sam, and this is our daughter Anna, who's a little sleepy monkey right now.
She's sleeping. She's 5 months old. So yeah.
So back in college, I was, I think, 20 years old
when we first met, yeah, and I was like 19. So me and my best friend we went for coffee, and then she kind of just told me that one of our other friends were gonna meet up with us, and Sam was just with him. So
right place, right time.
It ended up being that the four of us ended up hanging out that day. It was completely unplanned, and we didn't really start off dating. We started off as friends, and not even that. Like when we first met, I didn't even think we would see each other again, actually. So yeah, when we first met, I was newly in college, and me and my best friend were kind of like in our single phase. I wasn't looking for a relationship. We were in our beginning of college, like just learning about ourselves, just learning about being in our 20s, not being like teenagers anymore, like beginning of adulthood, and dating was the last thing on my mind in the beginning.
Yeah, and for me, it was, like I said, like putting myself out there for the first time in a while, you know, just trying to like dip my toe in the water, and you know, it was trying to get to know people, you know, like, okay, maybe just go out there and see what's around, and we'll go from there.
So then just through that, we started hanging out as friends, like I said, and we would hang out a lot. And then it's kind of like, I say the story's like fate jumping in or whatever, but I remember that my mom had to go to Florida, and a pipe burst in my room, and the super couldn't come to fix it for like a few days, and my mom didn't want me staying in the house like having the super come, and she didn't want me staying there with a broken pipe. So I asked my best friend if I could stay with her for a couple of days, and I stayed with her while my mom was away and the super was fixing all the issues. And so that's kind of like where we got to know each other even more, because Sam was around more. It was summertime, and then there was a barbecue, and I don't know, something changed in that barbecue for me, where that's where I started seeing him in a new light. That's where like I kind of was interested in dating. It had been like a year and a half already, so we knew each other as friends, and it had been like a year and a half. So now I wasn't fresh in college. I was like, I'd been in college for a while, and I was single for a while, and so now I was casually dating here and there. And then it kind of like something in that barbecue, I guess it was us hanging out in that barbecue, and like it was like a light bulb. I don't know, and we were hanging out more. So I think us hanging out more and getting to know each other more, that summer was like the tipping point. But had that pipe never broke, I don't know. We ended up hanging out even though it wasn't planned. So that was why I say it was face stepping in, because I wasn't even supposed to be staying at my best friend's house that week. We weren't even supposed to hang out that week, but because this pipe burst and I was like staying with her for a couple days, and then because the party and the barbecue linked up in the same weekend, we ended up spending this time together, and that's where my feelings kind of started. But we were friends, and so you don't want to mess up your friendship. Like if anybody's ever had somebody that's been a friend who you didn't think about dating, and then you end up having feelings, there's a part in the beginning where you're like, I don't want to mess up the friendship. And then we used to hang out in a group, so it was kind of like, how is this going to change the group dynamic? And it was just a lot of questions. So at first I was like, maybe it's just a crush, I'm not going to do anything about it, it is what it is. And I remember confiding into one of my other girlfriends and kind of just telling her that I liked him, and kind of just telling her my feelings. And I told her like, it's gonna stay between you and me, like it's never gonna go anywhere, I'm not doing anything about it. And I thought that's where it would end. I thought it was a crush. I thought like, it's a crush, you get over it. Like you have a crush on your friend, you get over it, but it's just a crush.
And I think around that same time, the guy friend who was with us in the beginning part of the story, I was at his house, and around the same time that she's telling this in parallel on my side of the world, I'm talking to him, and I say like, "Oh, do you think she's like single, or is she is she interested?" And it's like, oh, and this friend was like, "Yeah, I mean, I think she's pretty. I think she's available, but you might want to have to ask and just poke around a little bit."
Well, I think that was a couple months later, because that's what I was gonna say. Like, so after I confided in one of my friends saying like, I just have a crush and I just have to get over it because I don't want to mess up our friendship. I think a good couple months went by, and we would talk and we would text, but I mean, I think we would flirt a little, but like we didn't like really tell each other our feelings or cross any lines or anything like that. And then
it was kind of like the random flirtation that you have with a friend, but it never
goes anywhere else. And then actually I said that I was going to tell him my feelings because they weren't going away, and and then that's another like Faith stepped in, like it wasn't the right time, because literally Hurricane Sandy happened and destroyed New York, and we didn't go out that weekend. That was the weekend we were supposed to go out, and I was supposed to tell you, and the trains weren't working and everything was flooded and New York was destroyed, and that was the bad omen of like not the right time. So yeah, Sandy happened and destroyed the city in New York, and New York was underwater. And I remember like we were in BMCC at that time, so that's Bronx Community College, and that's all the way downtown if you're familiar with the New York area. And that our basement of our school got flooded for a while. Like while everything else opened up, we were closed for like a whole week, and that was the area that we were supposed to go for drinks. And I was gonna tell him like that I did want to date him, but that didn't happen. So I think so basically my feelings started that summer, and then Sandy was like in October, and then that didn't happen. So it got prolonged, and so we kept texting and our friendship went on, but all along like this whole secret crush thing. And then
we were basically like having like the same feelings for one another, but kind
without
of knowing it, like beating around the bush. I couldn't really tell, and I was kind of iffy about even saying anything. Like I had a lot of trouble. I haven't had the best success with like asking people out, and it was just not my regular thing. And then I remember that one night that we were texting, and then like she had said some line.
Well, hold on, backtrack.
What? Which part?
So then I kind of decided that I had to tell our main mutual friend, my best friend, that I liked Sam, because it was like we hung out in a group, and I don't know, it just felt like we were keeping a secret even though we weren't dating yet, because I knew that the texts were starting to get flirty. I knew that I didn't know if he liked me, but I think at that point I kind of suspected it. And I remember when I told her, she was kind of shocked, but all in all, not knowing that he had told her the same thing. So she was really playing me, like playing it off, like, cause she didn't want to get involved. She wanted it to happen naturally, but like, all in all, we told her the same thing, but she let it happen.
I remember that now. Yeah, she knew, and then like, so she was like the intermediary, and she didn't know really like, I can't interfere with it.
She didn't want to interfere. She didn't want to be matchmaker. She wanted to let it happen naturally, which was good in the end, because the timing, like, had people who picked up on like that we liked each other and stuff interfered, you never know, the timing would have worked out different, and that might have not been the perfect time, right? So yeah, so Sandy happened in October, and then I remember, like he said, we were texting one night.
Yeah, and then I think I was in my grandmother's house, and she had.
I don't remember the exact conversation, but
yeah, we were just texting.
We started joking around. I remember that.
And then she kind of baited me into saying like
that kind.
Like I call it a bait because like. But it was a specific line because I took it, and I just literally just asked her like, do you like me, or did I say I like you first? I don't remember. That's the part I don't.
No, I think I asked you because I think we were like, I used to say that we used to flirt in like riddles. So that's like, we're both writers, and so when you get two writers together and you text, it gets funny. So we used to text in this flirtatious like riddle, like we're not really telling each other we like each other, but we are. So finally that got annoying, and I think I was the one that said like, do you like me?
Yeah, I think that's
and then you said, do I like you?
Yeah, that's what it was.
You said yes, but you asked me, and I kind of said since the summer. And then
I said, okay, so how about, and then we'd start discussing details about like, we should go on a couple dates and to see. But at that moment, we also I remember this, that we wanted to be
not yet
exclusive. Yeah,
not
that time.
Yet.
Yeah,
no, that was after the first date.
Oh, after the first date, my bad.
Yeah, so the first date we were like, well, let's go on a date and see, because I still had that suspicion, like, well, what if this is just a crush, and then like you go on the date and it's completely awkward. Like, you know, you could think you like a friend because you're hanging out with that person a lot, and then you go on a date and like there's no actual like romantic chemistry. But we went on our first date.
Yeah, we went to see, what movie was that?
I don't remember the movie. I remember
we went to Dallas BBQ.
Yeah, I remember we went to BBQs and we kind of walked around the city, and it was December, so like it was right before Christmas, and so like it's pretty. There was lights everywhere, everything was decorated, and so you're able to kind of walk and just enjoy that and enjoy New York in wintertime and Christmas, and we did. So we went to dinner and then we walked around. We did see a movie, but I don't remember the movie. I don't think either one of us was paying attention to the movie. I think it was more nerves.
What came out in 2012?
I don't remember the movie, but I remember that everything was sold out. Everything was sold out, and so we had to see this movie, but I don't remember the movie.
I don't remember it. All right, let's move on. I can't remember
I don't remember the movie because I wasn't paying attention to the movie. It was just nerves, like I said.
And then like around, so then after that I walked her home, and then we were enjoying the nice night because it was not too crazy cold for that kind of December.
Even though we started dating in December, somehow we got a really good winter where most of our first dates were good weather, even though it was the middle of December.
Right.
But
you know, so I walked her home, and then what we did, so you know, to do one's kiss, like first kiss, is new, and especially it's the way we were always beating around the bush in the very beginning, like the way we were basically dancing around the whole thing, and since it was our first date, it was like, okay, how do we go from here?
Basically, I didn't want to, it sounds weird, it sounds like bad to say, but basically I've had friends that dated a friend and then they go on like 2, 3, 4 dates. They don't kiss in the beginning, and then they kiss and it's like kissing your brother. And I didn't want that to happen. So I decided to kiss on the first date because I wanted to see if there was actually romantic chemistry other than just a friend. Because dating your friend, like going on a first date with somebody that you've been friends with for more than a year, is kind of like starting on like the 5th date. It's like you already know this person. It's not like going on a first date or a blind date where you literally don't know the person and you're starting from scratch. Even though it's a first date and there's still that like anticipation and nerves, it's very different dating a friend because you know the person, and so it does feel like you're just hanging out with a friend, but now there's like this, we're dating, we're on a date. So I had to find out if it was actually romance or just a crush, like I said, or if it was gonna be one of those situations where it was like we've been dating for like a couple weeks and now it's like the kiss is weird and it's like kissing my brother, and I didn't want that. But obviously there was a romantic connection there, and then we decided to continue dating, and I think we didn't like officially start like we didn't officially get into a relationship for about a month. Yeah,
literally like to the T.
But we decided not to date other people just because we decided that would be like a little confusing.
Then around January, was it around like 11 o'clock? I forgot.
It was late.
It was before midnight.
So when we first started dating, I was in college, he was in college, I was working full time, and he was actually working 2 jobs. And so our beginning of dating was very, like fast paced and trying to find time. And so sometimes it was like a breakfast date. Sometimes we were meeting up really late and just getting to spend like a little bit of time together. So that first year, like even though we were like together, and even though our first year was like us falling in love, it was just our schedules were crazy. But that's kind of how it is when you're dating and you're in your 20s and in college. It's just it comes with the territory, I think. So yeah, we went on a really late date and we went to dinner, and then we were walking around again the city, and that's when you asked me.
Yeah, and I asked you to be my girlfriend. I just remember like we were underneath like I forgot what random street that was.
We were by Central Park, but we didn't go in the park.
Yeah,
we were like on the outside.
Because the park closes at dusk, so you can't go in there. So, but I asked her to be my girlfriend, and she said yes, and then the rest is history. At least for me, like we felt like that was it. We wanted to.
From there, we took it more serious because now we were like actually in a relationship.
Yeah. And that's just pretty much how we first met, and then how we got together.
So now future story times will make more sense.
Yeah, and we'll always refer back to the certain pieces, and you always see where we come from there.
So real quick, this is like future editor Justine. I just wanted to say that, the baby woke up and started crying. Charlie was barking. We didn't get to end the video the way we wanted, but basically that's the story of how we met. That's the backstory we wanted to give you guys, as we're going to be telling our journey moving forward, and like the whole infertility journey, pregnancy, parenting, and catching you guys up. And so we wanted you to have the story from the beginning. So that's the story of how we met and how we started dating. And I just wanted to end the video correctly, but we didn't get to because of the chaos. So basically the end of that story goes, like I said, the end of that first date that night, and us continue dating, and the chemistry was really strong right off the back, and so something about it felt different. And from there, I guess I would say fate took move forward with that, and we continued dating, and like Sam said in the video, the rest is history. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and getting to know us a little bit more and our backstory. See you in a future video. Bye.